refinery. This came as it was gathered that the multi-billion-dollar refinery and other domestic refineries had yet to purchase crude oil in naira, based on the directive of President Bola Tinubu to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. In an interview with newsmen, the former president described the Dangote refinery as something that should encourage both Nigerians and non-Nigerians. Officials of the Dangote Group recently cried out that international oil companies were frustrating the refinery by refusing to sell crude oil by selling to them at a premium up to $4 above the normal price. He recalled that he persuaded Shell to run the country's refineries, but the international oil company refused, saying there was too much corruption. The defeat is the outcome of a renewed vigor aimed at reducing the activities of notorious illegal oil bunkering merchants in the Niger Delta region. He further said the army has effectively scaled up operations against these criminal elements in the region to increase oil production in the crude oil and gas-rich region. In another development, the federal government says plans are underway for the construction of the Nigerian Creative City, a one-stop hub for talent development and youth empowerment. The Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, said this in an interview with newsmen on Wednesday in Abuja. According to Musawa, the project is part of initiatives conceived by the ministry to provide a platform to harness creative opportunities across the country for economic gains. Musawa said the Creative City is expected to offer development platforms Welcome back. You're watching Biscon Television News. Now to business news. The International Labour Organization's Director General, Gilbert Hongo, has urged G20 labour and employment ministers to take decisive action to reduce inequalities, promote gender equality, and encourage diversity in the workplace. Hongo made the call at a recent high-level meeting in Fortaleza, Brazil, to address global labour market challenges, ensure just transitions, and promote decent work. The ILO Director General introduced the G20 Social Policy Portal, created with the International Social Security Association, and highlighted the role of universal social protection and strong labour market institutions in addressing inequalities and promoting sustainable development. Countries have high potential to cooperate with each other in the relevant field, as Iran and Belarus have great commonalities. Brigadier General Vahedi blamed the United States and Israel for their warmongering policies, adding that all calamities and disasters facing the region is related to the U.S. government and Israeli regime. He added that the late founder of the Islamic Revolution, Imam Khomeini, R.A., called the United States the main cause of corruption and the great Satan, which seeks war, conflict, and confronting the independence and self-reliance of countries with its domination. Brigadier General Amir Vahedi emphasized that Iran's Air Force is ready to develop mutual defense and military relations and share its experience with its friendly countries in the fields of manufacturing and producing military. Welcome back. Now to the weather sport.
ownership of their constitution. The moment you don't do that, you continue with this rigmarole, continue to blame governance. The other thing is political party. There is no internal democracy. But the more fundamental, which we need to deal with, decentralize the power at the center. Power center is so we need to restructure, and then you must bring back sanctions. If you don't bring sanctions, impunity will continue to reign. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, quite frankly, it shouldn't be. These are the things that have made things uncontrollable and diverse. Election, governorship election, all these should go all the way to a National Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. What for? We should by now, since we have 6, even with what we have there, 6 regions, we should have courts that ends within the region. Because nobody can tell me, that's why they gave judgment to somebody who was number 4. If those judges, if it was Supreme Court that ended in the Southeast, they won't give that type of judgment. But when you have somebody from Anambra giving judgment on election in Sokoto, the governors will be meeting with the president, and there should be regular meetings. Pastor Tommy has said it here, and it's not because he said it. I said it earlier. President Yaradua was exceptional. And so were other presidents until recently. They were listening. You can call them any day. I said it before. I called President by 2 a.m. I had issue in my state, 2 a.m. We had issue in my state. I called him, he picked up the phone, and I could see him talking to a minister, saying, "Are you sleeping?" By 2 a.m. Today, people don't even see the president. You make an appointment, you go through chief of staff, you go through this. But as governor, we are authorized to see the president without going through anybody. I just come and say, "I want to see the president. I have issue." Don't have judicial counsel. As I go and ask them, I never interfered in anything, not even in admission. One of the first experiences I had was a vice chancellor in our university came and said that the allocation for office of the governor for admission. I said, "VC, if it's not that because you're a good man, I would have sacked you today. If anybody wants admission, let him go. If you have cut-off point, let them go." That even me, I didn't pass jam the first time. Me, I did not hit it. So let them go and repeat, like I repeated then. So why would you come down and say I should get somebody? Let them go and repeat that. That I took jam and I didn't get the cut-off point. So I went second time. I made sure I was on top. So if anybody fails, let them go and repeat. There's nothing in that. And these are things we have cultivated here. Parents are now getting involved with admission of their parents. They are now getting involved of their children. they're not getting involved with the exam, with everything. Who says that? No. We need to start. Governors, I was governor. I didn't get involved with any of those things. You do the right things. That is the only way you can endanger followership, respect, and anything. If anybody tell you that P2B appointed him judge, let him come. I didn't even know how they appoint judge. They just said these people will be sworn in as judges. I swore them in. And I went to court. And everybody know that I've never given any judge money. If you give judgment against me, okay, one day you will judge against yourself. Because that thing you did that was wrong will come around to affect you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for judicial recruitment and also what you are doing as a senator and senate to make sure that we have better laws. And there's also another question to say, should the president continue to appoint INEC chairman? Because, you know, His Excellency said that the INEC is supposed to conduct the elections for Senate, Federal House, and the presidential election. Why governor is supposed to conduct? So the question then is, should the president continue to appoint INEC chairman, and should governor continue to appoint?
After every session of the National Assembly, that session ends with everything. You have to start de novo, new. In other words, when that National Assembly ended in 2015, everything that was done, that was not brought to the National Assembly, also left. With that particular session. With that particular session. So you can't come today and ask us, what did you do with that time? It's not, we can use what is in that thing today as with that particular session. So you can't come today and ask us, what did you do with that? With that particular session. So you can't come today and ask us, what did you do with that time? It's not, we can use what is in that thing today, assuming when we start the next amendment. That is it. Secondly, about the appointment, I do not think that they matter. And I'm very, very clear when I say this. The matter is not the person who is the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. We miss the point when we always put this thing on a person. It's not the fact. Today, no matter what anybody tells you, we have the technology to remove all elements of people deciding whether they will upload the result or not. Once you remove that, all the youth here, they vote for BP Niger. Who determines how they do it? None of them complains about it. It means that the technology is available for us to vote, and our vote goes directly. That is what we need to do. And that point also comes to what our lady here talked about concerning insecurity. Let me tell you, ma, I was arrested by DSS under Buhari in front of a barber shop when I went to cut my hair. And the DSS themselves told me that they traced me using my phone. There was no NIN at that time. Today, there is NIN, there is BVN, there is everything, and somebody's kidnapped, and money is paid into an account by transfer, and the police and the security people will tell you they don't know how to go there. It is wrong and it is not correct. They have all the technology they want. If they want to catch you today, they will catch you. And let me tell you why I say they want to catch you today. There's one young man who during the wrote something and said, oh, that Mrs. Buhari, that she's so fat because she's eating Nigeria's money. They traced him to Jigawa and caught him. What did they use to catch him? So let nobody tell you that these security people don't have what they do. There is just a sense, unfortunately, a sense of malaise in the country where people who are supposed to do something have refused to do it. And there is no consequence for them refusing to do it. Just like Governor Sule said, any president that gets up and calls all the people and line them up and said, I will take it no more. You don't act, you get fired. Job. When they now say clamp on him, oh, it's my mother's cousin, it is my father's brother, it is something that is causing all the problem today. We have used nepotism as statecraft, and that nepotism has now led us into an abyss. Until somebody is willing to walk away from it, we will never be able to solve this problem of all these areas.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Peter Obi said about the judicial recruitment. For the 8 years I've been governor of Sokoto, I never interfered with the judicial process for recruitment into the judiciary of Sokoto State. And the Judicial Service Committee were doing so well, they even appointed members of the academia, a professor as a high court judge. He is on the bench of Sokoto State, is a professor of law. He is on the bench of Sokoto High Court as of today. I never interfered. And on the confab report, sir, my elder brother, Chris Asuloka, Senator Abaribe has captured it all. When President Jonathan empaneled the conference committee, he knew that there was National Assembly. We all know the issues in through this way. He knew that he ought to have initiated bills driving from the report of the conference. That was not done. So at best, what the current National Assembly can do is that we can dust up the report of the conference and now come up with private member bills so that we can now